Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. That was Dirk J. Cole. You know, Busta, when he was here this week, said that the one rapper that he would love to work with that he hasn't worked with yet is J. Cole.
What they waiting on?
That's what I don't know, but that's pretty dope to hear that. But let's get in some front page news. Now, Chris Kalin is our guest co-host. And good morning, Tiz.
Good morning, DJ Envy. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Charlamagne the Guy.
Good morning.
Now, Aaron Rodgers in some sports, he has been cleared to practice. Now, this is 11 weeks after his surgery, Achilles surgery.
For what? Now, Red is a New York Jets fan. What is the point? They like 4 and what? What's their record?
I think 5 and 8 or 4 and 8, right?
Yeah, they're tied second and last place in their division, so.
Man.
It's too risky for him to play right now.
Yes, wait till next year. He had a torn, ACL?
Yeah, Achilles.
Torn Achilles.
Come on, man.
All right. Now, also, the Seahawks play on some bum team tonight. I don't even know. 8:15 if you want to watch
Dropping
that
the cruise
game.
bombs for my Dallas Cowboys. I don't even understand the hate. I don't even understand why this has nothing to do with you. Stay out of Cowboys business. Y'all New York Giants are done. It's over for y'all. Y'all not have no contention going on in the NFC East. Let us cook, bro.
So my mom's a Cowboy fan, so I have to go for them.
Absolutely, she is.
Boo. Now, Tez, let's jump into Chicago.
Yeah, it is a migrant crisis. Folks have been talking about this going on in Chicago, and obviously we see it happening other parts of the country, including New York. But city and state officials are looking to get migrants off the street and out and in shelters more quickly because the winter is coming and they do not have a place for these folks to stay. But advocates say that new restrictions will only make things harder. I'm going to break down a couple of components that I want to share with you, but let's listen to the report from Fox 32.
As temperatures plummet and migrants continue to pour into Chicago, Mayor Johnson announced a new partnership with Chicago area churches to help ease the migrant crisis. They're calling it the Unity Initiative.
The Unity Initiative will prioritize getting pregnant women, children, and all of those sleeping outside of police stations or on the floors into temporary housing as quickly as possible through churches all over the city of Chicago.
Now, the program is funded by private donations. It will provide free food, free housing, free social service, free medical services, and eventually employment. Now, critics are saying that they have not been transparent about building a migrant encampment on an empty lot. And here is what Mayor Brandon Johnson had to say to those who are criticizing it.
We're not going to break away from our value system because right-wing extremism is sowing seeds of discord in this city.
Now, Mayor Johnson, although he's saying this is right wing, this camp will be on the south side of Chicago. Black residents are saying, no, this is not right wing. This is just how we feel. So I want you to hear from a couple different residents on the south side that is not, I guess, happy about this camp that we maybe possibly build on the south side of Chicago. Let's take a listen.
As a taxpayer, it makes me feel horrible. I feel that we have a corrupt system. They are not listening to the people.
Residents, including Annette Kane, have been speaking out against the encampment since the very start.
So now I'm looking as a single mom, what about us?
Like Kane, Jaquetta Vaughn's concern stems from a lack of resources for residents.
How about build something for the kids, the community? But instead, this is the first thing that you do is build a tent city.
I was going to say the same thing. Like, I'm not mad at any of this, right? If a human is suffering and you can help them from not suffering, do it. But I would love to know, do they have that same sense of urgency for their own? I'm sure it's been homeless people all over Chicago for years. Have they been treated the way these migrants are being treated?
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly the problem, Charlamagne, that folks are saying. And they're actually offended, by just putting it off on, this is just a right-wing talking point. No, these are real residents that say that the city is not being transparent enough. In fact, they had cameras out there trying to see, how they were building this camp, and they put tarp up so you couldn't see what they were doing. They're not being transparent. They're not being honest with them, saying, hey, this is what we're doing and why. And just as another point, over 21,000 asylum seekers have arrived since August because, Texas Governor Abbott bust the migrants there from Chicago, from Texas, also doing that, as you know, in New York and in Denver. So this is happening, a few places all over the country. We're trying to see what they're going to do with this migrant crisis. And yes, residents on the south side of Chicago are speaking up, and they're finding it offensive that people are just trying to, say it's just a right-wing talking point, because that's just not the case.
Yeah, how could they even begin to try to make this a right-wing thing? This isn't about party. This isn't about politics. We got eyes. Okay, we've been watching. We got eyes and ears. We've been watching and hearing homeless people suffer all over this country. So, yeah, I would be speaking out, too, if I saw, migrants coming over here and getting treated better than we are. Like, we've been sitting here suffering all of this time, and you act like you don't see us?
Right. Let me ask you a question. Is that why you think a lot of people are looking towards Trump? Because Trump is so American and so America, and saying, he wants to help home first than a lot of these other people that are coming in? Is that why people are looking towards Trump this election?
I think anybody with an America First message, will make Americans' ears perk up. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Well, that is front page news. Now get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open. If you want to holler, talk to us. 800-585-1051. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We have Chris Kalin here, our guest co-host. Let's get into some front page news. Morning, Tez.
Good morning, DJ Envy. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Charlamagne the God.
Peace, Tez.
Now, if you're just joining us, I told you guys earlier that Aaron Rodgers is cleared for practice. Now, this is 11 weeks after his Achilles surgery.
Pointless.
Yeah.
Completely pointless. Don't make any sense. He too old for that.
Right? Too old for that.
He need to relax, rest his nerves, and if he want to come back and play next year, do that. But right now, no.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I was tapped out yesterday. I jumped through one of the little kitty jumpies yesterday, and my arm was hurt. Like, I was hurt. I was in pain yesterday. I ain't gonna lie.
Did you take aspirin?
Yeah, I did take aspirin. I was hurt. I was hurt yesterday, but he too old for that. Now, also, the Seahawks play some bums tonight. That happens
the
at
Seahawks play my Dallas Cowboys tonight. I'm trying to figure out what it's on, though. I don't know if it's on Amazon Prime or Fox. Like, what is it on?
I don't think
Amazon Prime.
It's on Prime. Yeah, I think it's on Prime.
Okay. Well, I'll be watching tonight.
Okay. All right. Well, let's jump right into it. Now, Americans need an extra $11,000, Tez?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, an extra $11,400 just to be able to afford the basics. Now, doing the math, that's about an extra $950 a month. May not seem like a lot to many, but that is what the average American needs just to pay bills. Now, inflation is now cooling, they say, but according to the bank rate survey, 60% of working Americans say that they are not feeling it. According to recent analysis of government data, the typical American household must spend an additional $11,434 annually just to maintain the same standard of living they enjoyed in January 2021, right before inflation soared to 40-year highs. Now, the average hourly pay for workers has increased 13.6%, so that's good news. But since January 2021, there's still pockets of inflation hitting consumers. When I read this report, I thought about you, Envy, because it talks about how the pockets are in places like McDonald's, where Big Macs now cost 10% more than in December 2020. Then you have positive things like gas that have went down in 5% from the past year, but there's still these pockets that you see in food, some pockets fast food, as I mentioned, but people say they need that extra money in order to really feel it. And so that's what you're hearing in politics, on Bidenomics, you'll hear a lot of folks say, hey, inflation's down, but people are still saying, I'm not feeling it in the pockets.
Well, an extra from what? Additional to what number? Like what's the number that it's an extra to? Because what if I'm only making $5,000 a year? So now I got an extra.
I guess they did an average. average.
What's the average?
Yeah,
That's what I want to know. Like, what's the average number?
But like you said, it's sad, right? If you go to McDonald's, anybody that goes to McDonald's, and one of the cheapest meals they have is the number 2, right? That's the 2 cheeseburger meal. That meal right now comes out to $8.
Yeah.
Or in some places $9. So could you imagine you working and you're trying to have lunch, and lunch is costing you $9, but you're not even making $9 an hour?
It's ridiculous.
So it is ridiculous.
And we was just having this conversation because I told you I just came back from Abu Dhabi, and in Abu Dhabi they have like this labor force where it's like they if you work there, they provide you housing, and then in this labor city, basically they have like cafeterias, so you get to eat your 3 4 meals a day, and they give you transportation to and from work. And the crime rate is little to nothing in Abu Dhabi. Why? Because people's basic needs are being met. People just need a roof over their head and some food on their plate.
Right.
It's just that simple.
I don't know why America can't get that.
Me neither.
That's the truth. It's the truth.
Take care of the basics for people.
You know, I realized things were expensive. I went to the grocery store and peanut butter was $4.
Damn.
Right.
No,
What
everything's
brand?
expensive.
Yes.
Orange
brand?
juice is expensive.
Jif. For American dollars. I cannot believe
Everything
it.
is expensive.
For
Yeah, no,
American
it's
dollars.
expensive. Now let's talk about these 8 workplace trends.
Yeah, I wanted to give you, since we're kind of talking about economics and jobs, I wanted to give some folks what to look for in 2024 on some workplace trends that you're going to see. And let's go through them right quick. One is the return to work office battle that will continue on folks still wanting to be virtual. What will that look like for employers in 2024? Flexibility will continue to be key. People want part-time schedules. They want a little bit more flexibility in that. The 5-day work week may die. I know you guys are big fans of that as well. Are you still fans of that? Do y'all want to take off Friday or Monday?
Monday.
Yeah, I'll take a Monday.
You take a Monday?
I'll take
Okay.
Monday.
Well, they are still pushing that. The DEI conversation, and for those who don't know what that is, that's the diversity, equity, and inclusion. As we remember, the Supreme Court ruling on affirmative action has removed a lot of the DEI programs, and so they're figuring out how to do that in the workplace. Some folks saying that forcing diversity is a bad thing and it won't stick, so that conversation is still happening next year. Wage pressures will continue to subside. Now, we saw a lot of strikes this year, and they're saying that next year, fewer notable pay bumps, that employers are saying, they won't be doing a lot of compensation increases on 2024. Workers will still prioritize stability. Peak holiday employment season will extend, and retirees will return to the workplace, are expected to return to the workplace in 2024.
I'm with all of that. I definitely want the 4-day work week.
Now, the sad thing is, like you just said about the strikes. Now, if you were thinking of striking your business because you wanted more, could you possibly strike? We just talked about people can't afford McDonald's. So if you strike, you're definitely not getting paid. So it's definitely scary out there.
The one thing that jumped out was diversity inclusion. When you work in corporate and you are the only Black person there, you are responsible for diversity inclusion and putting everything together on top of your own job. So yeah, that was just a lot. It was triggering.
Yeah. They're also saying that jobs are expected to slow down in 2024. So we'll see. A big political year next year. So somebody got to figure out something as well. Because if people are not, like we had the other story, if the inflation has went down, but people are not feeling it, and jobs are not, balancing that out, and wages are not balancing out, then again, we're going to continue to have more problems. But as a reminder, 400,000 jobs are available now in the holiday season. So
yeah, inflation going down don't mean nothing if people still not making any money.
Right.
If you're still not making enough money, it don't matter if inflation going down, because I couldn't afford it when it was up. And I can't afford it when it's down because I ain't got no bread.
I don't know if y'all seen the prices of Christmas trees. The prices of Christmas trees are through the damn roof.
I'm so happy I have a fig tree.
What?
Listen, they were like, for maybe a 5 fig tree is like $125.
Dang.
Because my mom gets real trees. And I was like, well, you might want to get a fake one, girl.
Or a chainsaw. Go get you a little saw and go in them woods and put in some work.
And bring Alvin and Chipmunk home with you by chance.
That's it. Maybe. Just shake the tree for you bring it in the house.
Jesus.
Yeah, Christmas trees are expensive.
Yes, they are. All right. Well, that is your front page news. Thank you, Tez.
You're welcome.
Oh, and make sure you subscribe to Tesla and Figaro's podcast, Disgrace Shot No Chaser podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network, and follow at Tesla and Figaro on all social media platforms.
Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.